So, it's interesting because you are a woman leading in this space. Mm-hmm. So do you ever maybe find yourself in like specific challenges being a woman and being a leader? And how do you handle that?
I cry.
Oh, no.
That's my secret. I do cry.
Welcome to the Skittle Squad Podcast. We're glad you're here. My name is David Smith.
And I'm Paul Pfeiffer.
Hey, Paul, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Good. Seems like I haven't seen you for a while.
I know. We never see each other at all.
Yeah, we never do.
I know.
Although we did have fun last night.
We did.
We saw Veronica Fox.
Yes.
And we saw Morgan Lashade.
Mm-hmm.
And why don't you tell folks a little bit about what we did?
So we went to drag bingo with Veronica Fox at King of Peace Church.
Mm-hmm.
There was quite a big turnout.
They had at least, I want to say, 150 people,
yeah,
200 people.
It was a big turnout.
Yeah.
And the thing with Veronica is every time I see her and I go and give her a hug, I feel like I need a step stool because she's so damn tall.
And she was wearing 5-inch heels.
And she was. like super tall.
Yeah, that was
and
great.
And then afterwards we tried to do a Facebook Live, which was like a total failure.
Holy moly. So we tried to do a Facebook Live and God bless your husband, Rick. He was holding yeah. And so Rick did not have Paul in frame. And then Paul the entire time was just screaming, I'm not in the frame. I'm not in the frame. And you just were making me laugh so hard. Oh my goodness. It was a catastrophe.
Yeah. Technology is hard sometimes.
So we deleted that immediately.
Right.
And of course it posted twice onto our Facebook page.
It did.
And then we just did a regular video.
Regular video that turned out really good.
Yeah.
And then after that, we went to dinner. And then after that, we went to Thirst because Morgan's Shade Showcase was going on.
Yeah, he had a full house here. It was really great.
Had a full house. And I was really happy to see that. We had some of our friends showed up.
Yeah, that was really fun.
The performers were off the chain, like Amari Lavish, for example, who was Mr. St. Pete Pride 2024, was performing. I just like Morgan's shows because they're diverse.
Very, very diverse. Yeah. And he likes to highlight folks that are not in the mainstream spotlight. Yeah. So that's really great.
Yeah.
And these folks that were performing came from Orlando. They came from
Fort Lauderdale.
far away.
Yeah,
Fort Lauderdale. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was really great.
Yeah, really good show.
Fun.
So we stayed for that. And then about midnight, I was like, okay, I'm ready to go now.
Yeah,
like
that was a long day we had. Yeah, for
it was
sure.
definitely
Absolutely.
a long day.
So you and I have been chatting, and I'm really excited to hear what is your Real Housewife tagline. You apparently have a Real House tagline that you want to tell me about.
I do. But I feel like before we even go into the taglines, because you're a big Bravo fan.
Right.
And I watch a couple of the franchises. I don't watch as much as you do. But they always have, like, for Beverly Hills, they have a diamond. For Georgia, they have a peach.
Right.
So if we were like the real gays of Tampa Bay, like what would we be holding? Like, would it be like a bottle of poppers or a dildo or what? I mean, what would be what would we be holding?
An eggplant.
An eggplant. Okay.
I just feel like that's so appropriate.
Well, yeah. I like that.
Yeah. I mean, do you know what that means? Like if you text someone an eggplant?
Yes, I know what it means.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. Okay.
I am gay. Hello. Anyway, so I was thinking about, because at the beginning of every episode, when they do the cast shots, they have a tagline.
Yeah.
And it's always something unique and it changes from season to season. So my tagline, I decided, would be, I may have a muffin top, but you can't top my clapbacks.
Oh, God, the drum of the muffin top. Oh, my goodness. So for folks that may have missed it, Paul had a T-shirt and it said 70% muffin, 30% stud. And Paul says this T-shirt's wrong. I said, oh, okay, that makes sense. You think it should say 70% stud, 30% muffin. I said, I think there's a typo on there. And I said, isn't it muffin top?
Yeah,
and
so then it calls me a muffin top. I'm like, what? So And I don't think you knew what a muffin top actually is. So for those of you who do not know what a muffin top is, it means you have fat that is hanging over your belt. So when he called me a muffin top, I'm like, oh, you bitch. I'm like, whatever.
And you also said I was rude.
You were rude. but, you know, this is the way David and I are in normal life. So I don't take offense to anything he says. And I actually take it as a joke because, you know I'm big and I'm fluffy and, you know, I embrace that. And that's, you know, that's fine. I am who I am.
You have said on previous episodes, if you want a cheeseburger, you're going to eat a cheeseburger.
Yeah, I'm going to eat a cheeseburger. Yeah. I'm not going to deprive myself. Life is too short. Yeah. So anyway, that would be my tagline because I was like, okay, I'm going to throw it. When I was thinking about this, I was like, I'm going to throw the muffin top back at him. So
well, I knew that something was coming at me at some point because I knew you were not happy with that comment I had made.
So your tagline, did you think
my
of one?
tagline, I was playing around with ChatGPT, kind of playing around in there, kind of like seeing what I could come up with. And I thought this was a really good tagline of mine.
Okay.
For me. Love me or hate me, there's no in between. I'm the chaos, the charm, and the drama queen.
Okay, I can see that. I can see that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're definitely a drama queen for sure.
What? No, I'm kidding. I'm totally joking. I do have a penchant for drama.
You do.
But it's, the interesting thing is it's very instinctual.
Yeah.
It's just my personality.
Yeah.
And so, if I amp it up, it almost seems crazy because I'm just very drama.
So do you stir the pot? Like sometimes?
This will be a shout out to my friend Mary Gilmore from many, many decades ago. She said, and she had an analogy. She said, "You're the spider in the web."
Oh.
Yeah. Kind of like the spider in the spider web.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think I've had a penchant for drama. But it's natural. It's not something that I like fabricate. It's just part of my personality.
Okay, because my husband Rick thinks we're always involved in drama.
Well, Rick is,
and I was like, what?
Yeah, Rick is. I was going to say more conservative. He's more, I don't know, boring.
He's got to stick up his butt sometimes.
Rick, of course, we're just
joking. He won't watch this.
We hope
Maybe not.
We hope not. But anyway, no, I don't know. Yeah, Paul and I we just are chatting naturally when Rick is around.
We do,
and he rolls his eyes.
Yeah, he rolls his eyes a lot. Because, David and I, and I'll say this all day long, the reason why we have a show is because David and I have this natural chemistry banter thing going on, and that's what makes the show work. So whenever David and I are out together,
right,
and Rick happens to be with us, that banter continues back and forth, and he interprets it to be serious when it's really not.
Yeah, we're joking.
And he thinks we're involved in drama. And I'm like,
yeah,
there's no drama. We're just talking like we normally talk.
Maybe we talk dramatic.
Maybe.
Like in a dramatic way, but I don't know.
Maybe. There may be a shirt that talks about being dramatic coming up on a future episode.
Well, yeah, speaking of shirts, you have a shirt today that says that's shady.
That's shady.
Okay. Any flashbacks? Well,
I feel like the muffin top comment was shady.
No, I don't think so.
I do. I feel like it was, but no, but I don't take offense. So,
how many more episodes will we hear about the muffin top? Because I feel like maybe it's coming again.
I feel like now that I've used it as my tagline, if there was a reality show with the gays of Tampa Bay, that we can move past it at this point.
Okay. Well, I do want to have one more call out before we move past it. Am I allowed? Are you going to be okay with this?
I'm fine with it.
I have a t-shirt idea for you.
Okay.
100% muffin top.
Lord. All right. So if there's anyone out there who makes t-shirts and you can make a t-shirt like that for me, I'm in an extra large because I have a muffin top. Go ahead and send it to us at the Skittle Squad.
Well, it's all said in love, and I have a feeling that this may come up at some point in the future. But anyway.
Probably. I can hold grudges sometimes.
Hey, I have a muffin top. I don't know if it's 100%, But I definitely
It's
have a
like
muffin top.
130%.
Yeah, I agree. My wardrobe says, girl, you're not wearing that today. So, yeah, for sure. Oh, my goodness.
Okay.
All right. Well,
We're ready
it's been
to bring
fun chatting. I think we should
Yeah.
go ahead and bring on our
guest on?
guest, which
Okay.
we do love talking with our guests the most for sure. So we're going to talk to, in just a few minutes, Dee Rose from FAMLeague. And stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Awesome.
Welcome back. We're excited to introduce our guest today, Dee Rose from FAMLeague. Hi, Dee.
Welcome. How are you?
We're so excited to have you on.
Thank you.
I've
I'm very
been waiting
excited
for this episode forever.
Me too.
Yes. You really describe yourself a lot as like bringing people together with FAMLeague, with other events.
Yeah.
And you mentioned there's probably interesting origin story to FAMLeague with the name. You want to share with folks maybe about what FAMLeague is and how you came up with that name?
Sure. Actually, I personally didn't come up with the name.
Okay.
But we realized when you start a business, you can't sign any paperwork without a name
Right.
to be official. So that was the hardest part. I was out to dinner with Rob, my husband, and we were trying to come up with something, and I threw names out like community, genuine, togetherness, things like that. And he said, well, it's a family, so why don't we just call it something like family? And I said, oh my God, FAMLeague. If you say it fast, it's family, and that's what it is. And
that's so great.
so your friends become your family in
did
family.
not catch
I love
that.
that. My
I
heart
love
is like
that.
melting right now. I love
Oh my
that. Oh my
God.
goodness.
Well, at least
Okay.
that's what we hope.
Yeah.
There have been a lot of people who have met their best friends, their partners. So I think it's a wonderful experience to meet people.
And tell folks about what FAMLeague is, like, the events you have
Yeah.
and things like that.
So we are an all-inclusive sports and events league in Tampa Bay area. We have sports, dodgeball, kickball, pickleball, bowling. We do bar Olympics. We do baseball games, hockey games, just things that get people together. And some people might not ask the people that do attend to go with them. And I know what it's like to go alone to places, so I don't ever want people to feel alone. So that's kind of what happened with FAMLeague and why it's here.
Yeah, I think that's so important because, there's a lot of people in the community that, are afraid to kind of take that step out
Right.
to doing something on their own. And
I say go for it. Do it. I know you're scared.
100%.
Just do it. I promise you'll meet somebody. And if you ever don't want to go alone, we'll go with you.
Yeah,
You
and I
know?
love talking about it because I think when you talk about it, you bring it to the surface, it makes people feel more comfortable, and then they do take that step forward.
I mean, I've done it. I've done things on my own which were very scary, and things that I never thought were possible. And here we are. And it's worked out.
What were maybe a couple of those things?
I live here because I took that leap of faith.
Wow,
So the
okay.
long story, we're going to keep it short. I was married, I got divorced, I quit my job, and I said, I'm going to start all over. And I moved to Tampa knowing nobody.
Oh, I love that. Okay, that
So
had
that
to
was
take
7
a
years ago.
big leap of faith.
Huge.
Wow. Okay.
So again, I know what it's like to be alone in your thoughts, scared to do something by yourself, but you got to do it.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I feel like in Tampa Bay, we do get a lot of folks from really all over the world that kind of move here. They fall in love with St. Pete. They fall in love with Tampa. They really fall in love with the culture and the rich community that we have here. Because honestly, I've lived in a few different places over the years. People in Tampa Bay are just so friendly.
True.
Yeah,
had to get used to
really,
that.
really do. What'd you say?
I had to get used to that.
Well, I lived in Miami for almost 20 years, and I moved here, and I was like, someone would say hello, and I'd be like, what?
Right.
What's wrong with, like, it really, really.
I came from Brooklyn, New York.
Oh, so you
Yeah.
Nobody
understand
says good morning or
completely.
hello or can I help you? Hi. Yeah. No, I'm good. No. But
That's
yeah,
so
it's
funny.
But I rather that.
Yeah.
After
makes a
living
difference.
in a place like that for 28 years and then moving here, culture shock.
Yeah.
But then you realize this is really nice. Actually, we shouldn't even say that because then maybe everybody will move here now.
Well, that's something that we have in common because my backstory is that, I came from a small town in Illinois, and at the age of 30, I just packed everything up, no plan, no place to live, no job, and moved to Atlanta and was there for 14 years.
Wow.
So I definitely get the wanting to start new, and the scariness of not knowing anybody in that type of environment and having to like transition and getting out there and meeting people and so on and so forth. So we have that in common.
Yeah, so I could really see
awesome.
FAMLeague really doing that. Bringing, how many folks are participating in your events? Do you have a number or?
So currently, to date, we have over 800
Wow,
members.
that's absolutely amazing.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's 2 years. We turned 2 in May.
Okay.
And we were down for 3 or 4 months because of the hurricanes that
that was
came.
rough. Yeah.
It was rough for all of us, and I honestly felt bad because we didn't have the outlets to play the sports and be together. So we all had to take that hiatus, even though I think it was good because we came back with a vengeance.
Okay.
And now everybody's almost back on track, hanging out with each other, doing that. But our parks got destroyed, so we couldn't play places.
It was hard.
So yeah, it was tough for a minute, but
Yeah.
things are great.
Yeah, I think, for folks watching, we had Hurricane Helene and we had Hurricane Milton come through in October of last year.
Right.
And I spent a lot of time on St. Pete Beach.
Yeah.
And you're just starting now, and now we're in June, you're just starting now seeing some of these businesses reopen. So it really did take a really hard hit. And I felt bad. A lot of folks that worked in businesses near on the beach lost their jobs for a long time.
Did.
Right.
Yeah, so we're just kind of coming back. I try to support local business on the beach as much as possible, really just to kind of get them up and running and promoting them and talking about them. So
yeah, and I think people think, oh, you live in Florida, so you're used to hurricanes. Well, really, I mean, when you get 2 back to back,
That's
it was
never happened.
literally
rough. It was like
one
7
right after
days
another. Yeah,
in
it was
between.
crazy.
Yeah, it was really
it was not
rough.
normal.
And one was like all water, and one was like all wind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got a 1-2 punch there, and it was devastating for a lot of the community for sure.
Yeah, so folks watching right now, we are at the very beginning of hurricane season, so definitely urge folks to go onto the government websites, make sure that you're prepared for any type of storms. I'm not going to pretend to be the Skittle Squad podcast expert on hurricane preparedness, but, just have your documents, your medications, make sure that you are ready in case of a storm. And there's a lot of resources that the local and federal government offers on the internet. So definitely check that out and be ready and have a plan.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Always need a plan.
Yeah, for sure. Well, talking about hurricanes feels a little depressing.
Right.
So we want folks to be prepared, and things like that. It's just part of living in Florida. But maybe we shift it up just a touch.
Sure.
And we were chatting a little bit before the show today about how people identify. And you had mentioned that, some people, for you specifically, maybe question or they don't know your identity. You've got 800 people in the FAMLeague right now. So I'm sure, when you're in the spotlight, you've got just people just randomly talking. So what would you like to maybe say about that as far as maybe like your identity, sexual identity?
Sure. So it's not too often where I'm directly asked how I identify, but then I'm questioned why we have an all-inclusive league. So that kind of goes hand in hand.
Okay.
So I've always identified as bisexual, and people have told me over the years, that's now transitioned to pansexual, which is I'm not concerned with your gender specifically. If I like you, I like you, and that's okay. So I guess that's where my decision of having an all-inclusive league comes from, is I'm not concerned how you identify. I appreciate how you identify. That's not a concern of mine. You are all welcome here.
Right.
It doesn't matter if you're gay or straight or trans, anything. You are welcome at our table, as long as, you don't bully or harass anybody.
Right.
That's all we ask.
Just being respectful.
So
Right.
that's, I guess, where it all comes from.
And that's one thing Paul and I really, really try to do on the show is really showcase all of the folks that are in that umbrella. We really try to have diverse guests and really talk about it, like keep that at the top of the conversation.
For sure.
Speaking of your guests, I've known almost every single one of them. We all have some sort of story on how we met. And
It's
I
a
just
small
love stories.
community.
It is, but I love it so much. And I hope that more people join our community.
Yeah,
And again,
absolutely.
it doesn't matter who you are. It's just, we're not so bad. We're not mean.
No, it's
Ish.
really
So, so I know you had mentioned, the sports that you're involved with. So kickball and I've told you this before. I'm like, I can't participate because I'd break a hip because of my age. But do you accept people with muffin tops into the group?
Okay, so I think I'm going to say this. Apologies, but the muffin tops are the best parts. So
They are.
They
are.
No offense to tops.
Everyone's
I feel
looking
bad
for
the
a top.
bottoms,
They don't
because
like
muffin
the
bottoms
bottoms. Yeah.
don't get all the love. I prefer a muffin top.
people do say the tops are better. Yes, that's true.
That's shade. That's shade.
Yeah.
That's shady.
That's shady.
Oop, okay. Well,
No, but yes, you are welcome. We accept all. This is going to be held against me, but we encourage you to drink if you'd like. So there's people who imbibe during our sports.
Oh, fun. Okay.
Carefully. That's why we are a 21 and up sports league.
okay,
Because
okay.
there are people who do drink and play sports if you can. Dodgeball, good luck trying that. You're all out of
That's
breath.
what I was
and-
just thinking. I was like, how do you drink and play dodgeball? Although I will say,
kinda can't.
I would love to play on opposite teams with David and dodgeball so I could throw balls at his head.
yeah, that would be really
Rob and
fun.
Rob and I are always on opposite teams.
Oh, wow.
So when he throws a ball at me and I catch it, it's so vindicating. Sorry, I love you. But yeah, it's a good way to get rid of stress. We're adults.
definitely.
We have tons of stress.
True,
So,
yes.
you need an outlet. Beating someone up is not allowed and frowned upon. So, you can't do that.
But really, does anyone here have like that high school or grade school experience
That's
with
what I'm
dodgeball?
saying.
So we have
yes.
all
I
levels.
used to be
Okay.
like in grade
We
school.
also play with foam.
Oh,
okay.
So
okay.
there's
So-
no rubber
well, then
ball
I'm
to
not
the
playing.
So
face.
I
I need the
remember in
rubber
grade
balls.
school, it was rubber balls, and
No.
I used to rule playing dodgeball. Like
Muscle
I
memory.
was
You'll be
really
fine.
good.
You'll be fine.
So are we doing a pact to sign up for dodgeball?
We should sign up for dodgeball, but we have to be on opposite teams so I
I
can throw
love this. I love
Okay.
this
Stuff
idea.
at your head.
I'll do it.
We have an open
I'll
play
do it
coming
for
up.
sure.
You can try it for free.
Oh.
So
Oh,
That's
okay,
awesome.
okay.
Okay.
July
cool.
12th is free for
Is the
anybody.
next one?
Is the next
Oh,
one.
Okay.
awesome. And
Okay.
this will roll out before then. So
Yeah.
that's
Remind
exciting.
me so that I don't forget.
I will.
Okay.
So, it's interesting because you are a woman leading in this space.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you ever maybe find yourself in like specific challenges being a woman and being a leader? And how do you handle that?
Yes. I cry.
Oh, no.
That's my secret. I do cry. I do have feelings, even though I portray that I don't sometimes. You have to have that strong persona,
Yeah.
which I do. But I do cry. It does hurt. I think men, whether they're gay or straight, have a problem sometimes listening to a woman. So that's been a challenge for me. Because I usually say, if my name was Daniel and I was 6'1", we wouldn't be having this conversation. But because I am who I am, it's a
Wow.
problem.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
But I'm passive aggressive when needed. Still respectful, because you give respect, you get respect. That's my
Right.
whole thing.
Now,
Yeah.
when you present that out to that person that maybe you're chatting with at the time, hey, if my name was Daniel and I was 6'1",
I don't tell everybody that.
but
just
have
a
you
few.
ever? But do you? Does that kind of shift their?
It does, and
lens?
it makes them realize,
Yeah.
oh, wait a minute, you're human.
Right.
Like, yeah, I might be tiny, but I'm mighty.
Right.
So
Right.
you know,
Right.
I still have feelings. I still think I deserve the respect of anyone else.
Right.
I don't think I'm superior than anybody else. I see myself as an equal to everybody else. I just took the step to plan everything that some people might not be able to.
Right.
So yeah,
I
I
think
do this for everybody else, and I think some people forget that. As much as I like being in the spotlight, sometimes it's a little nerve-wracking, but it's for everybody else. If I didn't do this, you might not meet people that you're gonna meet. You might not network with some people. So there's a lot of things. You might not meet a future partner, or
Right.
you don't know.
Yeah, new best
So
friend.
anything.
That's one thing I really love about the podcast is we're able to highlight folks like you that are maybe a little bit behind the scenes, but you're doing so much good for the community. And, we had David Fisher and Lee Manuel on, the owners of Cocktail, just recently. And that was one thing that I was really trying to highlight during their episode is that, they're so passionate about what they're doing, but it really is an effort.
Oh, absolutely.
Without using
Yeah.
like other negative adjectives, it's just, it's a lot.
It is.
Yeah.
So, but then what people are getting out of it, sometimes I think you take it for granted.
I think so. And I have a wonderful team. So I don't do this all by myself. We have a FAMLeague committee.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
So there's 8 of us, I believe, total. So it's me, Rob, Daryl, Hawk, Mike, Joe, Jay, and
awesome.
Tony.
Shout out to the
Yeah.
team.
Yeah.
That's
The whole
awesome.
team.
That's really
I'm
great.
impressed that you were able to do that like on air.
I think I got them all.
Does your husband ever end up being like a mini therapist for you at certain times or?
A lot of the time. Well, he's the one that gets to see the real me.
Right.
Okay.
You know, like
right.
it's different. And
Yeah.
I will say this flat out, Dee Rose is the tough one. And my real name at home isn't so tough. She breaks down.
Yeah.
And,
Right.
she deals with all the emotions. So Rob is there to pick up all those pieces.
Yeah. And not to say this in a negative way, but you do have that Brooklyn background.
Oh,
So that probably helps a
Here we
little
go.
bit when you're dealing with certain things.
100%.
Yeah, for
I have
sure.
that thick skin that's needed sometimes, but
Yeah.
then, you need a moment for yourself.
It is
Yeah,
it is
for
a
sure.
different personality. Like
Yeah.
people that I work with in my day job watch the show, and when they tell me they want to watch the show or where they can find us, I said just be aware that business corporate Paul is not the same as Skittle Squad podcast Paul. It's two different personas, so you can't be, and I'm sure it's the same for you too.
Same here. I think it's same for
so-
all,
Yeah, I
all
pretty
of us
much
deal
act
with
the
that.
same everywhere.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure, Jan.
Well, we know
No, I really, really do. I really do.
it's that Tin Man coming out again.
I really do act the same everywhere. I don't really have too many alter egos.
Too many. Too many.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, anyway, I know. And my coworkers, I love them and they have to deal with me, and I love you. So thank you for that.
They told him
Anyhow.
to say that.
Yeah. Well, shifting a little bit, I know that you guys have a lot of events coming up. There's Summer Slam Dink, Bar Olympics. There's a cruise, I think a holiday bar crawl. Maybe just talk folks through the events that are coming up and what they're about and how they can participate, because it sounds like you guys are doing a lot.
We are. And I think doing a lot gives people variety and they have a choice. So you're not stuck doing the same thing over and over again. You can branch out and do different things. We try to do things like single day events too. So you can't commit to a full season. This is for you.
Oh, that's exciting.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So the Slam Dink, Summer Slam Dink is a one-night pickleball mini tournament.
Oh, okay. That's
So
fun.
the top 16 teams will make it to a tournament style, and then we crown a winner at the end of the night. So
Now,
it's
do you
one
play
night.
pickleball?
I do, but
Okay.
but not in my league because I run it.
Okay, got you. I want to learn how to play. It looks so much
Yeah,
fun.
I've never played
And you've
before.
never played before.
No, I've never played
Okay.
before.
Well, we'll go play.
So we'll do
We'll go play.
dodgeball and then
Dodgeball
pickleball.
I
Okay.
do play. So
Okay, yeah.
dodgeball and kickball I do play. Bowling I play. Pickleball is the only one I don't really play
I got
for our
you.
league, but everybody does. So it's the hottest trend right now.
Yeah,
So we
everyone's
have to have
playing
it.
it.
For sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, so our cruise is in November, and that's a 4-day. If you're willing to stick with us for 4 days, trapped on a boat going to Mexico, I think we're gonna play some kickball on the beach in Mexico.
Oh, that's
Oh,
fun. Oh my
nice.
gosh.
And maybe some dodgeball on the beach.
Oh my
That'd be
gosh, that sounds
fun. Yeah,
exciting.
yeah.
FAMLeague is in Mexico.
Yeah. And what
yeah.
are the details for that? Like, what was?
So we have a group code for
Okay.
Carnival Cruise, Carnival
Okay.
Paradise. It leaves from Tampa, goes to Cozumel, and comes back. I think it's November 6 to 10, Thursday to Monday.
Okay.
And we have a Friday email that goes out every week for FAMLeague. So if you want to be on that mailing list, just email us your info, your first name, last name, and email address. And you can be on that email, and all the details are in there. We can always send it to you. But you can check our events, our socials, Facebook, Instagram. It's all posted there.
Awesome.
If you
Sounds
want to
like a
join our group,
blast.
we have
Yeah.
a big group coming.
Okay.
So we have a private cocktail party on the ship.
Nice.
And
Okay.
T-shirts and a bottle of wine in your room.
Oh wow, that sounds
Wow.
amazing.
All the perks.
Okay.
Everybody
Okay.
deserves a getaway.
Oh my goodness,
Absolutely.
absolutely. And we're really lucky to live in a port city.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. So you can just take a Uber 20 minutes and then
Yep,
you're there
you're-
and then
you're
you're
out.
on the ship
Yep.
and you're out.
Yeah.
Now there's also an event coming up called Bar Olympics.
Yes.
Now that sounds fun.
So we called it Saddle Up and Chug because it was at one of our sponsors, Saddlebags in
Okay.
Ybor City. It's a brand new spot. I think it's 14,000 square feet.
Oh wow,
wow. That's huge.
Yes, it's
Okay.
very, very massive. So we play about 7 bar games.
Okay.
You don't have to drink. Everybody asks, do we have to drink? I mean, well, we play beer pong, flip cup. It's encouraged. You'll have a good time, but you don't have to drink to play some of the games. So we play the games, and you get points per game if you win, and then we crown a winner.
So I may have a controversial statement about the beer cup. What is it called? Flip cup?
Flip cup.
I feel
beer
like,
pong.
I feel like straight people are really good at that.
I hate this.
Say, you've heard this before.
So being gay or straight has nothing to do with your skills.
Okay,
It's how you
got
aim.
you. Okay.
So-
if you're able to aim.
It's
That's
but
definitely
you
been
have
a
to also
thing.
flip the cup on the table, right?
What's all on the shoulder?
Oh, in
Yeah.
the shoulder.
It's all
Okay.
on the shoulder.
Yeah, I know. Like I'll
We
play.
can teach you how to play
yeah.
first.
I mean, my wrist is flimsy, but I don't know about my shoulder.
Cut that out. I would not air that. I
Wait
would
a
not
minute.
air
Did we
that.
just open up a box here?
Right.
Oopsies. Okay.
That's a real for sure.
Well, I mean, we'd like talking about our wrist, I guess. Anywho, and then you also have a holiday bar crawl.
Yeah, this will be our
Okay.
3rd annual our fuck bar crawl. It's the FAMLeague Ybor City Bar Golf Holiday Crawl.
Oh, okay. That sounds complicated,
Yeah.
but fun.
Well, I swear a lot. So we had someone on our family committee was like, can't we call an event like fuck? And I'm like, sure. Let's pick acronyms for, what the letters, and we had to switch them around.
That sounds like fun.
But yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So is it just basically?
So we go to Ybor and
Okay.
we pick 9 bars that want to have us come in their establishments, and we print out these bar golf cards for all the 9 locations, and we give the location points per drink at each spot. So your drink is your par, and we tally up your points, and whoever has the least points at the end gets a prize.
Oh, that's
If you
fun.
can survive.
Wow.
It's about 5 hours.
Oh my God, 5 hours. Okay. Can we handle
Maybe
that,
less.
Paul?
Maybe
I don't
less.
think I'm too much of a lightweight to be
Maybe
able to
less.
do
So
that.
I will say yesterday, Paul ordered a Long Island iced tea at the bar.
It was straight
Here's
up
the
alcohol.
thing. First of all, I'm looking
Yeah.
at him and I'm like,
Yeah.
who are you?
I
Like-
mean, even though my drink of choice is nothing better
What do
than
you
that.
drink?
A Red Bull and Jaeger girl. In a pink
Oh,
That's
a flash from the
dangerous.
past.
I've never left
Wow.
college, apparently.
Oh,
so,
wow. Red Bull Jaeger.
Yeah.
I remember
Just
those.
a big Jaeger bomb in a pint glass.
Oh,
That's what this
wow.
is.
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's the only way we can survive.
Yeah, I have a nightmare story with Jaeger. You know they have the Jaeger machines, right?
That's the only best way to do shots.
Yeah, and they didn't turn it on.
No.
And you know what I'm going to say, right?
It's warm and hot.
Yeah.
No.
It was like, whoop. Anyway, so machine must be on.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. And then it's so cold. It is good, though.
It's better ice cold.
But Jaeger in general, it is good. It has like a really good, but it's strong.
It's healthy for you.
Okay. Well, just like apples. Just like apples.
I love that long pause. I love that. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Whatever you say.
Oh my gosh, that's really, really funny. So let's see. We've talked a lot about a lot of different things here. So maybe just finally wrapping up a little bit, how do you kind of keep solid? Like, do you have a daily practice? Do you like meditate? Is it just like wine or Jaeger? I mean, like, how do you?
Jaeger and meditation.
Really? Okay.
Sometimes together.
Okay.
But no, I will go to the gym. I listen to a lot of heavy metal music.
Okay.
And some people, some people think, it's going to get you more worked up. Actually, it relaxes me. Just having all that, and I find music to be part of my life so much. So I have 30 different playlists for my mood.
Oh, that's so cool.
But yeah, definitely just putting some headphones on, escaping for a few minutes, and just recentering yourself and getting ready for what's to come.
I know I'm a big beach person for that Zen element. Are you a beach person?
For sunsets.
For sunsets,
I love going to, I'm a Cancer.
Okay.
That's my sign. So I need to be by the water.
Yeah.
So that just heals me completely. But yeah, sunset, heavy metal music with Jaeger, I think that's the perfect night.
Favorite heavy metal band?
I can't pick just one. No. Well, Metallica is coming here.
That's true.
Really?
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even though by the time this airs, I think they're gone.
Oh, okay.
I think it's like now.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, no, a lot of different bands. I can't pick just one.
All right. So we talked about all the events. You've got 800 folks playing. There's an option to do a single event, so you don't have to sign up for a whole season, which I will tell you that I have heard from folks in the past, they really have hesitation for that commitment for that whole season. So that's awesome that you offer that. So is everything on your website?
So we have our Facebook and Instagram up and running currently. You can find everything on League Apps right now. Our website is under construction, so that should be available soon.
Awesome.
But yeah, if you just click the links in our socials, you'll be directed right to League Apps to register.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, great. Any final words from you?
I don't think so. You want to wrap it up?
Well, if you wanted to be on the show or maybe sponsor the show, what would folks want to do?
So if you would like to be a guest on the Skittle Squad podcast, or you would like to be an advertiser on the show, you can reach us at contact@theskittlesquad.com.
Yeah, we're definitely open for, hearing from folks that want to be on the show in the community, especially if you're behind the scenes and you're doing a lot of the work like Dee Rose has been doing, behind the scenes. Again, just really bringing up the community and bringing the community together. It's really great. We do thank everyone for listening and watching. And please share out our episodes. Please like, subscribe. We're only here because you're here watching and listening, and follow us on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Dee, thank you so much for being on today.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
This is so official and exciting. I'm so happy for y'all.
Thank you. We're so excited to have you here.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And we'll see everyone next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.